Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile. Hence, we say the crimson light is live. So, I would like to elaborate a bit more on um, the presentation with sacrifice, um, heaven, hell, and earth, because I believe that this is such a profound revelation. And of course, because I'm using the word revelation in itself seemed to coincide beautifully with that presentation. And I would like to share that with you, of course. So, if you're here for the first time, this is where we are about names, words. I say names, words, and numbers. And we have fun. It's the idea of seeing how we can implement those factors and become better expressions and versions of ourselves. Okay, so we have been doing sacrifice, which equals 10. It really equals 1 because 1 is a number of victory, it's the number of newness, it's the number of um, it's the number that of new beginnings. So it is a wonderful number, but in it also has the all what we need to be completing to number 9. As we will see, even the number 9 in itself has in its makeup that stroke of number 1. Okay, and if you're wondering why the other curve here, of course, I have covered those things in other presentations, and know that I will come to them from time to time and perhaps even here. So we had heaven for 28, and just to show you how I work these numbers again, number 1 equals JAS. Let's do it this way, JAS. 2 is BKT. 3 is luck, LUC. 4 is development, DVM. 5 is new, NEW. 6 is fox, FOX. 7 is gypsy, GP, sorry, GPY. GPY. 8 is headquarters, HQZ, and I is the inland revenue. Okay, so I hope you can see this here. So this is really what we work with in numerology, but I have construct these like I have covered. I have construct them in ways that show where there has been manipulation, or I have manipulated the letters from this point on. So from here, they have not been. 11 of those letters have not been manipulated. New is where, of course, number 5, this is the new spirit of Christ, which we call the crimson light. Okay, and development, so the D was one letter that I didn't have to manipulate, and also BKT. Again, I reflect this because I work intuitively. I'm not quite sure how far this is going to be, but it seemed like a template is being developed here. Okay, so on this template that we are talking about, going back to the word sacrifice, heaven, and I've also covered earth, which came to 7, earth. So it's 51928. That's 10, that's 20, 25, 2 and 5. Now, I have been talking about how the looking at the 2 digits to see the structure, because I believe it gives us some insight into seeing how the single digit comes about, what interplay had taken place to have that single digit. And in this sense, like here is saying 2 and 5. So even if we were to multiply two fives, that would be 10. And in my last presentation, I was able to show how that 7, 2 and 5, which is 7, came about. And this is what I would just love to elaborate on, that 7. So we see that that bucket, like I keep coming back to, is a demonstration of the union. It denotes that union when we look at the word sacrifice that Christ had the Last Supper with the disciples. It is showing that union that had taken place. It is showing an agreement. It is showing harmony. It is showing partnership. So Christ was going to die or to be crucified, but there was a union, there was a bond, a bind that had taken place with that relationship with his disciples. So this we are seeing here, and of course I was saying, if for instance I made the expression of heaven and hell, heaven and hell has the same numerical value, but when I said heaven and earth actually became 7, of course. Let's do earth, EARTH. So that is 10 and 10, 20 and 5. Okay, so we have it here already. Okay, so this is what I'm really trying to. Let's just take this off. Okay, let's leave the 25 here. So we see that that 2 here, when we under the 5, is denoting the Christ spirit that is within us. I say it is within us because, of course, we do not acknowledge it until we have come to the 10 here, coming to here, because if we add these numerical values, as I say, it comes to 10. So it's when we get to that point, we get to that 5, awakening the Christ spirit within us. So we see the agreement here of 2, and the 5 takes us to 7. So the 7, however, is where I call it gypsy. Gypsy. Let's do this in a. Okay. Gypsy is where we go through our journey, where we pitch our tent, if you like. We sleep, but then we are traveling in the spirit realm. The number 7 we know is a very sacred number. So we are, although we are in one position, but we are advancing to another. We are focusing on a direction. So, but the direction we are focusing on or wanting to be at is the number 8. So this is what happens here. In this number 7, I wanted to understand the makeup of why is 7, 2, 2 and 5, the difference here. What is happening here? So we see there is a difference in the numerical value here with the number 3. 3 here. So if we, again, there's the secret. In this 1, 2, 3, 4, when we do these, okay, let's do it here for luck. We have done it in other exercises, so we know we get this, we get 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. These are the values of all of these here. So for instance, 3 fives are 15. When we add 1 and 5, we get 6. So this is what, sorry, 3 fives, 15. When we add 1 and 5, we get 6. So this is how we get all these here. And we see that the other thing that happens here is that the difference of this, the difference between 25 and 28 is 3. So this 3 comes here, which follows in direct correspondence with 4. the development stage. It's like, and this is the 4. So basically, we are getting a direct correspondence with 3 and 5, which would be 28 to reflect here, and also the 4, if we were to say 4 times 7, which is adding the 2 and 5, which would be 7, which we have the 7 here. So 4 sevens would also be 28. Now, why 4? We have covered that before. 4 is, of course, one of the elders on my journey of actualizing self full love from the crimson light, which is presence. And presence, as I say, is everywhere. So we talk about presence, and we talk about presence in a very spiritual way. Generally, we do that when we say someone has presence. It's like, but I believe it's also saying with the number 4 here, it's giving an insight that presence is everywhere, meaning there's the polarities in everything we do, the hard, the soft. It's a balance of the two aspects: above, below, left, right, up, down. It is all of those things here that presence is. But we see that presence is so, I was going to say, so immaculate, so wonderful, so majestic. This is the word. Presence is so majestic that she can show herself in this format 4. She shows herself here, and perhaps because this style of writing 4 really hides a lot, because it is not showing the flow. But if we do this, we can see that the continuum, there is a continuum, but still there are two ends here. These two ends, I suppose, is really indicating, and perhaps there's two ends the other way as well. I'll just do this. So no matter which way we do it, we've got, okay. Oh, we've got 4 ends here. All right, I just thought I would experiment for now. So this is really telling us that there's a message to pay attention to that. It's the only letter or number, sorry, that we we have a break here. Okay, I write my 5 like this, but I can also write my 5 in a continuous motion. So 4 is asking us to pay attention. And that's what presence does. Presence asks, I'm just checking the time. Presence asks us to pay attention, because that's what presence is about: intention and attention. And perhaps that's the 2 points I'm going to stick to. In fact, I'm going to convert writing my 4s in that way, because I think presence is really saying this is where intention. Okay, I should do it in a continuous way. So these two ends, intention and attention. This is what presence is about. And it looks like a bow as well, like two ends of a rope or something you could tie. So that's what I'm getting from this. And of course, so we say if we have 4 sevens, because the earth is about 4 points. This is how we make sense of our world, about the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the main elements that keep us: earth, air, fire, and water. So we know these are this is presence, which is we couldn't survive without those. And hence the 4 gospels seem to be denoting the same element as well, as if each disciple is feeding us with one aspect of those elements. In fact, I think I'm going to start looking at it from that perspective. Okay, nothing happens by chance. So basically, and Again, the fact that I could not, I'm just looking at this, the fact that I could not or didn't seem to want to change the position of the D might be an emphasis of paying attention to 4 because it's a value of 4. So it might be emphasizing the very point here. I'm hoping that you have understood this, and I hope that you found it interesting or beneficial. So we see how free. There was another point that I would like to point out on the number 3 in this aspect, but I want to keep the presentations short, so I may have to come back to that. And of course, let's just leave this one at this point for now. So I hope you have found this fun. And if you like this presentation, remember to click the like button and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualize self-full love. In the meantime, spill over with love. Stay bright, stay ignited. Namaste.